I have gotten the blessing from God that the gift I shall receive is the movie theater, the show, the movie that is showing at the theater. Though it's not the one I want to see, it is a movie nonetheless. And what is showing in the theater of life is called I Told You So. I love it. It again. I don't think anyone would say I told you so or go fuck yourselves when they're neverly proven right. Had all the people who were saying you were wrong were not dicks about it, right? If you I think whatever, the Detroit Patriots are going to win the Stanley Cup, right? And you say no, it's going to be the Tampa Bay Chargers. And one of us gets proven right or wrong. There's no animosity. Oh, look, the Tampa Bay Chargers won. Who knew? But when it's you're a guy with a funny mustache and you believe in murdering millions of innocent people, you believe in horrific human philosophies, and you're a bad person, we're going to ostracize you and call you names. And then you get proven right. Oh, that's your birthright to make fun of all these dumb fuckwits, these vile, fucking evil people who dare to call you horrible things and accuse you of horrible crimes against humanity because you had the balls to say this is what's going to happen. And so I will forever enjoy watching what is a parasitic culture. That's what it is. It is an economically unsustainable. Well, I guess you just say unsustainable. If it's a parasitic entity or an inefficient entity, it is unsustainable. I'll just call it a parasitic culture, a parasitic economy of the Twin Cities and Minnesota in general. And I don't know how long I keep on saying I told you so. A couple people sent this, and then there's a paper company that closed the shop. Someone sent me an article about the Apostle Supper Club closing in St. Paul, downtown, where all the action isn't. And I remember the Apostle Supper Club. I've never been there. I remember the name. So I look it up. I got an article from the Star Tribune. 3 St. Paul restaurants and a Minneapolis food hall are closing. I just got the one article. And I gotta ask all of you aspiring purveyors of fun, right? Let's just call it you are purveying fun. And you're trying to do it in the Twin Cities? The hell's wrong with you? A lot of you, if you want to look up something funny, look up Bytes, B-Y-T-E-S. You mean like computer bytes? Yes, but you see, get this. See, it was a cafe in Minneapolis called Bytes. Do you see how fucking it was a nerd cafe? So the double entendre, you don't understand why this is funny. Let me explain to you why it's so funny. So the double entendre was that the phonetic sound bytes has 2 meanings. It could mean bites, like a computer bit and byte, or also chompy with your mouth bites. And so they named it Bytes, a nerd cafe that served food. Oh. So you would think, Aaron's, surely with that marketing genius, they had every other thing planned out. No, they didn't. They decided we're going to pay a living wage, which I'm not necessarily against. But you didn't charge enough for the food. And guess what? They were trying to be what? Oh my God, oh goodness, socially responsible. And then they went belly up. Did you make it a year? Was it a year? Don't know if it made it a year. Look, working in banking, whether you're working in the insanely difficult business environment in Minnesota or not, getting a restaurant to succeed is very difficult. Anytime you think I should run a restaurant, you should kick yourself in your nuts and say, oh God, that was a dumb idea. Even if you don't have nuts, okay, you should just kick yourself somehow because your chances of succeeding are very low. But you go into St. Paul, Minneapolis, that those towns have not been fun in 20 years. you're going to try and make a go in essentially what is a micro or municipal communist state, or communist municipality would be what it's called. So here we are, 3 St. Paul restaurants and a Minneapolis food hall are closing. Galley Food Hall, Apostle Supper Club, Burning Brothers Brewing are shuttering. Chips Clubhouse has already closed. Oh, look at that. You have the millennial benches, the little stools. Oh, do you have lights in jars? Did you serve your drinks in jars? That's the real key way. Within hours, word came that a Minneapolis food hall known for launching one of the area's most popular pizza shops and the state's only gluten-free brewery. God, Jesus. They think their little Marxist, free, organic, dumbass shit that's going to launch them to $1 million success. We're closing both on May 10th. The North Loop Galley Food Hall in the Nordic Building at 729 North Washington Avenue North is the current home of Rectangle Pizza, Ono Hawaiian Plates, Ramen Kawe, and Good Boy. While often the want is something juicy or salacious, there isn't in this instance. Galley Group CEO Chad Ellingbo wrote in an email to the Star Tribune, all we can say is cheers to the 5 years we had. 5 years, eh? 5 years. Let's go to one of the coldest, most pretentious Marxist shitholes in the United States and open up a business. And we look forward to watching the continued success of the North Loop. Galley Group owns 2 other food halls in Newport, Kentucky, and Pittsburgh. Ellingbo declined to comment on the state of those Galley locations. The Minneapolis Food Hall opened in 2019, just before the disease, when things took a turn for the worse, said Ellingbo. However, with a strong team in place, vendors who were willing to push through, and guests who were eager to support, we are able to stick it out and stay the course. For original vendor Rectangle, which launched its Detroit-style pizza concept there, Galley support during the disease helped it grow into a multi-location brand. It meant everything, said Rectangle co-owner Jeff Rogers. We most likely wouldn't be in the place we are now without it. To have a super flexible spot on the North Loop. Isn't that where there was like firework fights going on 2 years in a row? Pretty unheard of, said co-owner Brenna Evans. Soul Fu, serving Southeast Asian cuisines, and Thai Times Birdhouse, a chicken spot, joined Rectangle and Ono Hawaiian Plates in the initial lineup. Ellingbo called, God, oh my, I just want to know, can we, look at this, how long is this article? Starting point, St. Paul, standalone, but with its only location in the Galley, Ramen Kawe has nowhere else to serve its Japanese-style ramen and snacks, said Tuan Yang, the chef behind the 3-year-old food hall stand. This is the only one, so basically we just have to close, Wang said. After 3 years, there are returning customers come a lot and eat here. I made a relationship with all of them, blah, blah, blah. Tiki Place near Excel at Breaking Point. Apostle Supper Club, the sprawling Palm Springs-inspired restaurant across the Excel Energy Center from St. Paul. What happened to the Eagle? Is that gone? Is calling it quits. I looked it up. They started in 2022. Nice 2.5-year run, man. In a Facebook post, owner Brian Ingram announced the closure. We put our heart and soul and everything we had into creating a space that offered warmth, community, and an unforgettable experience. Ingram's initial post said, you're trying to grow like pine trees in the desert. What are you doing? We built something beautiful, and despite our fight to preserve it over the last 3 years, we've reached a breaking point. Sarah and Brian Ingram opened Apostle in October of 2022 with 2.5 years, with a menu of retro cocktails and hearty and modern supper club fare under their Purpose restaurants, which is also behind the Gnome Craft Pub in St. Paul, Salt and Flour in Minneapolis, and Hope Breakfast Bars. A follow-up post, Ingram thanks staff and customers that said they did not make the decision lightly. Office of small business vacancy, as well as shit in the streets. Oh, I'm sorry, as well as public. Oh, you did mention it. Star Tribune, don't you like go and kneecap the journalists who mentioned public safety concerns? Are you supposed to keep them shut up? Public safety concerns are among the factors, according to Ingram. Right now, downtown St. Paul is simply not a viable place for small independent restaurants to thrive, the Post states. Good for you for stating that. Maybe you'll prevent other future people from wasting their life savings. Apostle will run through the end of May before closing its doors. Chips closing, a difficult decision. Chips Clubhouse, the Mac Groveland neighborhood spot. That's a pretentious part of St. Paul, serving modern spun Midwestern comforts and an ambitious bar program, has turned off its lights. Sadly, we've made the difficult decision to permanently close our doors. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for our incredible support over the years. A sign on the door states, we will cherish the memories made within these walls. Look, can you all just knock it off? I know you all saw them cooking shows, right? Where the fat losers who went to culinary school because they couldn't get into a real college or the military, whatever, and they had their 15 minutes of fame. You thought it'd be really cool to run a restaurant. And you never bothered looking up the RMA data. It's just, I want, dreams follow, dreams follow. And now what? You're 38 and you got no savings? I'm going to tell you all again, foreigners, come to the United States. There's not a bigger country in the world where more people will subsidize the purchase of your dining experience by sacrificing their life savings and their 401k and taking a mortgage and a second mortgage, a third mortgage on their house. They will. That burger should cost $35, but they decided to cash in the 401k early, pay the fee on it, and subsidize so you get it for $27. They're very kind people over here. The restaurant has been under new ownership since November. Owner Nick Donaker confirmed the last day of the chip was Wednesday. It was a financial choice, he said, wishing not to elaborate further. Pastry chef Tara Coleman and chef Gina Maggiamelli originally opened Chips in early 2021 on Snelling, just south of St. Clair Avenue, quickly gained a reputation for the refreshing take on Midwestern comfort food. Because there's not enough of those. Dishes such as the burger schnitzel style pork tenderloin and fried chicken sandwich were winning hearts. What? I want to know your profit margin. What's your total losses for the entire running? What did it cost you? They had this. They had little biscuits. They're in the shape of gnomes. My goodness. And like there's some kind of community. Want to thank everyone. Hey, have you thought about becoming a plumber? Have you thought about just working for a restaurant that does make a profit? Were winning hearts, as was Tim Leary's cocktails and mocktails, all served against an approachable neighborhood backdrop. It was a quiet handover, Coleman said, of the ownership change a few months ago, as Maggiamelli, currently the head of Surdyk's Prep Kitchen in Coleman, concentrate on their other food and ventures. All right, so they weren't making enough money doing this. They had to go have other jobs. Man, those culinary shows did a number on a generation, didn't they? Meanwhile, Coleman continues to run Hot Brands Pie and Biscuit in the same building with coffee pastries and egg biscuit sandwiches and hashes for dining, as well as take and bake and catering operation. St. Paul Brewery was a trailblazer. What's with the positive spin? Burning Brothers, the state's first and only gluten-free brewery, managed by somebody who is left-handed. I added that. Announced on social media Wednesday that it will close after 11 years. We have come to the incredibly heart-wrenching conclusion that we unfortunately cannot continue operations. Owners Dane Breamhorst and Thom Foss posted on the brewery's Instagram page, citing numerous complex and varied factors. Ain't making no money. Democrats keep shitting on our front stoop. And the criminals, the Democrats keep murdering our clients. But we're going to keep on voting Democrat. The tap room's last day, May 10th. The owners recently told the Star Tribune that tariffs, the fuck out of here, tariffs. Were you getting your hops from around the globe? Oh my God. Oh, were a cause of concurrent structure imposes a 25% tariff on all steel and aluminum imports, an additional 25% across the board imports from Mexico, where much of the aluminum used in the United States is sourced. This promises to greatly increase the cost of cans. Oh, the cans. Okay, I see the cans. I mean, your competition faces the same thing, right? I would be lying if I said we aren't concerned, Foss said. A good chunk of our income is canned beer. If you're going to increase costs by 25% or more, yeah, that's going to hurt a lot. Longtime friends, Bermhorst and Foss released their first beer, Pyro American Pale Ale, in March of 2014 and opened their St. Paul tap room a month later. Previous plans to open a brewery were put on hold after Bermhorst was diagnosed with celiac disease. Oh, that's too bad. But they forged ahead with a dedicated gluten-free facility after seeing the growing demand for it and a dearth of... Then if there's a growing demand for it, where's the profits? I mean, God, don't get me wrong. I hate the Minnesota culture. I hate it. It's backstabby. It's passive aggressive. It's lying. It's parasitic. It's communist. It's self-loathing. It's mentally ill. But there's the banker in me. It's like, dude, how many times have I heard these stories? It's been my dream. Fuck your dream and fuck your passion. That ain't money. West Rock closing. Oh, wait, you want me to pay? Star Tribune. The Star Tribune. The magazine, I'm sorry, the newspaper that told every white male in Minnesota they were shit, said Republicans were Nazis, and anyone who wanted to work for a living was disgusting, and everything was all of our faults, right? We couldn't hear what you were saying because the Democrat dick was in your mouth so much. You want me to pay to read one of your fucking articles? Fuck you. A cardboard plant closed in St. Paul. There, I summarized it for you. I'm sure you guys have a great economic plan to turn around St. Paul and come on downtown again. Come on downtown. Where are the accidents? That's right. The Twin Cities, Minneapolis. I read about that Dayton project. That's like a ghost town. This is a beautiful movie. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies watching. It's called the I Told You So movie. Prove me wrong. Come on, prove me wrong. Let's see a booming municipal economy. Come on, let's go. Oh, and if you could, please, for old time's sake, because it's been almost 30 years, could you just keep telling me why I'm a bigoted, racist, whatever? Call me some names for old time's sake. Let's go to the super chat. The Cappy going to go for a hike. Oh, link below, by the way, is a book called Reconnaissance Man. It's for you younger people or productive people who say, well, where am I going to do the best? If you're a productive, hardworking, or aspiring young person. So that book goes through all the different states and areas in the United States that you should probably consider moving to and living in. Guess what? Minnesota is not one of those states. Matter of fact, it's one of the worst states you could possibly live in, not only for its taxes and its punishment of productive people, but it's cold as tits. And if you happen to be in Minnesota, because I don't know, you got a scholarship or you were born there or you got a job offer, you didn't know what you're doing, your number one goal, unless you're not a productive person. If you're not a productive person, yes, Minnesota is a great place. They will give you free shit and everything. But if you aspire to actually be a responsible adult and achieve more than just welfare collector, you need to get out of Minnesota. And so that book, Reconnaissance Man, tells you like, hey, here's places you might want to think about applying for jobs and some other places you don't want to consider applying for jobs. Am I going to have comments? You just couldn't handle it, bro. Blah, blah. Am I going to have you dude bros who all got fucked up and thrown in jail because of your financial scams during the housing bubble? Are the Tom Petters and the Denny Heckers, you guys going to come out? Bro, you just couldn't handle it. It's a great community, bro, bro, bro. Yeah. Why you make those comments down below too? I can't wait. Naughty DJ Aftershock, $5. I think we should rezone inner city schools to North Oaks, Plymouth, and Wayzata schools. The inner city kids need resources of good schools. You should bus kids. We should bus them both ways. There should be all equality amongst Minnesota schools. Absolutely. Femboy Fantasia, $5. Marx, Lenin, and other socialists had heavy Lutheran influence in their lives at some point in Minnesota's Lutheran. The Lutheran, if you look at Catholic Charities, although Catholic, Lutherans were huge about getting immigrant Somalis into Minnesota, among other different groups as well. Lutherans, what was it? Someone described Lutherans, very Scandinavian, very self-loathing. Something like they'll worship a prospective convert, somebody who isn't Christian but might be, and they'll murder and kill a true believer in their own. Like they are so about being good and welcoming other people, not because they actually give a shit about these people. I think they just want to seem good. But if it comes to taking care of your own, they'd rather have you die. Generally, that's a pretty broad brush, but that's Lutheran and that's Minnesota. David, $2. Midwestern food sucks. Who wants tater tot hot dish? Thank you. What's this, an American bar with some American eats, hometown Midwestern comfort food? Oh, you mean like the billions of other fucking restaurants? Fucking Christ. Albino, $5. Gen X says 2 words for fun place to eat: Pizza Hut. Yep. Plastic cups, cold soda, Pac-Man, decent salad bar, affordable okay pizza, lots of fun, no jars. We haven't even talked about getting permits from the city council or having the cops not have their hands tied behind their back so that at night people could go down and be safe. And you know what? Even bigger than that, I'll say it again. When you stop fucking people over with bogus parking tickets and you allow free parking downtown, that will be half of it. No kidding. It was. The Twin Cities once had both St. Paul and Minneapolis. You know why? Free parking after 6. Oh, well, we better get more money to pay our welfare class some more free shit. Oh, well, we didn't tell them, we just changed the parking meters. Ass bucket, $5. Sing it. Ain't got no profits. No more profits. All money, all gone. All dried up. We ain't got no money. No profits. I cashed in my IRA. I'm now poor. You're mean. Fuck you. Fuck you. No one cares. I'm right. You'd have money. You all wouldn't be poor. You wouldn't have crime. Just the death pact Minnesotans have with failure. I think that is a macabre and fascinating thing. You just have a death pact with failure. Whether it's a small entrepreneurial startup, your education system, or your entire fucking state, you guys will destroy your entire economy and community because of your politics and your culture, which is a weird, mentally ill one. But you know whose problem it is? Yours. Not my. Sounds like a you problem. Albino, $5. Blue cities. In 10 years, Albuquerque and Denver went from gateways to the Rockies to skyscrapers empty with bums living in them, busting windows. Does Albuquerque doesn't have a lot of skyscrapers. I know Denver does, but does Albuquerque? I've been to Albuquerque a bunch of times. There's a downtown area, but it's not a lot. I can't even think of a skyscraper in Albuquerque. It's all right. We just didn't give the young kids from 30 years ago enough money and Ritalin, touchy-feely and hugs, and now they're all homeless because of evil Donald Trump. You know whose problem that is? Reconnaissance man, link below for you young people who don't want to be homeless fucking 30-year-olds bitching and whining, asking for a student loan bailout. Whose dream is like you watched the Gordon Ramsay show. I'm going to open up a biscuit and chicken shop. That's my goal in life. Could you dream a little bit bigger? Like, I don't know. I'm a boring accountant who makes money and lives on a beach. See you guys later, Toodles.